What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to teach you how to do the Butterslide. Before we get this video started, I just want to say this video is sponsored by Centurion boats and Hyperlight wakeboards. Also, I just wanted to let you know that I do have beginner to pro level trick tutorials on my channel on both the cable and behind the boat. So if you guys are interested in checking those out, feel free to subscribe and go on the channel and check them out. The things you already need to know how to do before attempting the Butterslide are basically just riding in a straight line and being capable of going outside the wake and maybe back inside the wake. And that's pretty much all you need to know. Some things I do recommend for this trick are riding at much slower speeds, like 16 miles per hour or so. This will keep you from actually dying if you happen to catch a front edge, because if you do that at 22 miles per hour, it is quite the impact. So at 16 miles per hour, it's a much softer crash. Another thing I recommend is actually removing your fins to attempt this trick. This will help your board break loose extremely easily. And also, when your fins are not on there, it's extremely hard to catch an edge, and this will make the trick much, much easier. The approach you're going to want to take for this trick is standing about 2 to 3 feet outside the wake and taking a nice, gentle toe side edge up the face of the wake. Now that you've approached the top of the wake, I personally like to do a nice little pop, like a nice little ollie to bring those rear fins up and over the peak of the wake. You could also keep those toes up and have your knees bent. Just pull this handle over to the middle of your body, keep it nice and low by your hips, and break those fins loose, and you'll end up in this 90-degree position, butter sliding in sort of like a board slide motion on the water on the top of the wake, sort of perpendicular to the boat and the wakes. Now that you're finishing up that board slide, butter slide position, you can start almost rocking back over that front foot to try and get your board to go back down the transition of the wake. You can start pulling this handle back over to your front hip once again, once you start dropping down the wake. And once you ride down that wake, make sure the handle gets over in front of the front side of your body, right in front of that hip, and just cruise forward and keep on riding. Something that helps me when doing this trick is actually letting go of my rear hand and kind of having it out there to help me keep my balance. This might not be for everyone, but it is something that you could definitely try out, and it might help you out a lot. Some things to keep in mind when doing this trick that will definitely help a lot. I'm sure I've said them a bit so far in this tutorial, but making sure your toes are really pointed up when you are in that Butterslide position will keep you from catching an edge. It will really help a lot in that aspect. Also, if you are more squatted, this will help you from getting slapped less whenever you do actually happen to catch an edge. Sometimes when you are taller and standing more tall, you get a lot harder of a whip. So if you are squatted lower, it will hurt a lot less if you do happen to mess up. I know I've mentioned catching an edge a lot of times in this tutorial. Don't let that scare you away. This trick is a very good beginner trick, a very good trick to learn first as one of your very first tricks. So don't let that scare you away. I'm just saying these things to sort of save you if you do happen to run into that issue. I'm just going to give you a quick little summary of the entire trick. When approaching this trick, make sure you're about 2 to 3 feet outside the wake. Take a nice gentle edge up the wake. As you're approaching the top of the wake, make sure you do a nice little pop, or make sure you break those fins loose and keep those toes up, knees bent. Get 90 degrees, nice and perpendicular with the wake. Be squatted, toes up towards the sky. Fins on either side of the crest of the wake to keep you from catching that front edge. Keep the handle nice and low towards the center of your hips. Once you have ridden in that board slide position for a minute and are ready to come down the wake again, make sure you rock back over that front foot again to drop down the transition of the wake. Bring that handle back over to your front hip once again and just keep on cruising down the lake. That's how you do the Butterslide. If you guys like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Comment below on what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future and what kind of tricks you guys want to learn in the future. Remember, I'll be out here every second day forever making wakeboarding videos, so make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace!